Thanks so much for joining us.
Got
I'm
it.
Lorelei Shamayo. This is the MeWe Metaphysics and Wellness Fair for energizing body, mind, heart, and soul. We interview our practitioners and vendors so you get a chance to know who we are before you meet us at an event. I'm here interviewing Mike Hernandez. Mike, it's great to be here with you.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So tell us, what is it that you do? What do you offer at our events?
I am a tarot reader. Solid, only thing I do, that's it. That's me.
And when do you work with just one deck? Do you work with multiple decks?
You know, I typically use one deck, sometimes two. I've used 3 or 4 on occasion, depending on the reading. I've got a thing called an actor's analysis that I do. It involves 3 decks. It's about 25 minutes long. It gets really in depth on stuff, and that I use 3 decks for that. Other than that, I've got about 100 decks sitting here next to me that I've collected over the years, and I use on and off. And my guides will tell me just off the, go get this deck for this reading.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I go, what? Go get this deck for this reading. I haven't used it like in a year. Go get the deck for the reading. Okay. So I do the reading, and sure enough, because of the artwork on the deck, it brings up the message just right now. And the client is happy, and they're very good, happy with their reading and stuff. And I'm thinking, okay, so next time the guide said, use this deck, use the deck.
It's great. It's great. We didn't talk about this ahead of time, so I don't know if they're accessible at all. Are there any decks that you want to show us, or any special ones that you want to tell us about?
I didn't bring any out. Now I'll give you. I can talk about them though. Sure. I use the Rider-Waite as my normal utilitarian deck. Mm-hmm. I use the Osho Zen deck for inward readings. I find it's really good to bring out things that are inside of you. Mm-hmm. The Cosmic Tarot, strictly for relationship readings. Hands down, my best deck for relationship readings. Doesn't matter what the issue is with the relationship. It always brings it forward. Mm-hmm. I've got one that my wife and I call the Incurably Cute deck. It's got little mouse on it. It's just way too cute. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I use that one because it's so cute that it sort of puts the reader at ease. Mm-hmm. But it brings out the message really strong and really clearly. Mm. And so that helps me bridge that gap between the, I'm scared or I'm not sure. And it just sort of calms him down, and I can do the reading for him. Works out just great. Yeah.
So would you say that you have more of an intuitive sense when someone comes up to you of which deck to get, or do they ask a question and sometimes you specifically choose the deck based on the question? Like, does it happen all kinds of different ways?
Well, I typically start out with the Rider-Waite. And then there's times when my guides just real quick will tell me in the back of my head, use this one instead. And okay. And I put it down, bring out the other one. More often than not, I use the Rider-Waite. Like when I go to fairs, I have the Rider-Waite, these Osho Zen, the Cosmic Tarot, and what's the name of it? I'll have to look it up. Anyway, I take 4 decks with me. Yeah. And typically with those 4 decks, I can do almost anything. Mm-hmm.
Great. And what would you say, are there particular themes that people come to you with certain kinds of questions, or like, how are people drawn to you to work with you? Like what does that start? Yeah.
Well, first of all, they're surprised the guy's doing this. Mm-hmm. That's the first.
There aren't as many men. Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Second, they say a lot of them are drawn by my smile and my energy. Mm-hmm. And there's a certain number that just say they have an inkling that, given my age, I might, be able to handle the types of questions they want to ask, because I've had that life experience. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they just say, I saw you sitting over here doing nothing. Thought I'd come and give you a try.
Well, it sounds like you've been doing this a long time. How did you get started?
Have you got about half an hour?
Well, give us a synopsis, but we want to know.
I'll try and give you the Reader's Digest version. I'm working at Microsoft. I don't believe in any of this at all. I get up one morning, it's just me and my wife because we don't have kids. I get up one morning, and in this ear, as loud as I'm talking to you, I hear, you have to learn the tarot, like 3 or 4 times. Mm-hmm. I shook it off and said, maybe I shouldn't have scotch so late last night. So I got up, got dressed, went to work, came back. Next day, same thing in the same ear.
In the morning.
So I blew it off like, okay, so no Mexican food late at night. The third day, I got up and it was in my ear half a day. It was almost like somebody, the old cheerleaders with the big horns. You have to learn the tarot. Okay.
Yeah.
So there was a metaphysical store that had a sandwich shop next to it that I used to go to when I was working at Microsoft. So I went there and there was a reader there, and I went and asked her, say, do you happen to do tarot readings, tarot classes? And she goes, yeah, my next one's in February. Okay, I was hoping to take one sooner. She goes, what, just a minute. I've got one more seat open. You can have it. It starts next week. I said, okay, let's go. Let's do it. As soon as I booked it, I went to get my sandwich. The whole thing went away.
Yeah.
So I go to this lady's class. It's once a week for 8 weeks on Wednesday nights. She likes to have her students learn how to read for each other, like third or fourth class in. So about the fourth class in, I go, I'm sitting there in her living room, and she goes, okay, she starts doing announcements. Okay, so please don't park at Mr. Ramirez's driveway. He doesn't like that. Mike, your partner didn't show up, so you're going to read for me. After she said that, anything she said after that, I could not remember. So in the middle class, we separate to do the readings, and she sits down for a reading. So she's kind of a portly lady. So she's sitting here like this, and I do the reading for her. And she's very nice, very, very wonderful woman. And I do the reading, and all she does is this. That's it. That's all she gave me. At the end of the reading, I'm thinking, okay, so this either suck the bag or I don't know. And only one line she told me, she goes, you are so meant to do this.
Yeah.
She got up and she walked off.
Wow.
I was like, wow. The next day I get up, you know the opening to The Simpsons where it goes, The Simpsons, right? Well, like for me, it was the tarot. And from that day, I've been doing this.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Oh, well, very, very exciting. I'm happy to have you as part of the community and happy for more people to experience your work. If people
My
want to
pleasure.
if people want to connect with you and find out more about you online, where do they go?
JustEnoughTarot.com.
Great, JustEnoughTarot.com.
Yep, not too much, not too little, just enough.
That's great. Well, thank you so much. Great talking with you. And for all of you listening and watching, you can find out more about all of our events at MeWeFairs.com. Thanks so much, Mike.
Thank you.